I cost Bank of America $8,000 legally. A bit of context. I've been in the mortgage and related businesses for over 30 years. I know it very well. I've never liked Bank of America, especially their servicing division. This story happened a few years ago. Just found out about this, grew up. I refinanced my mortgage through a mortgage broker and, to my aggravation, they sold the servicing rights to Bank of America. The entity that owns your loan is usually different than one that you pay to service the loan. I was miffed. I estimated that a Bank of America paid $5,000 to service my loan, as most folks at the time expect loans to stay on the books at least 3 years. Another little fact: mortgage services are paid 0.25%, fixed 0.375%, adjustable, of your outstanding loan balance per year. It comes out of the interest you pay to the bank. If you want to know how much your servicer got any particular month using the formula, service pay equals current loan balance 0.25%, 12. About 2 months after the servicing switched, BOA announced they'd be charging a $5 fee for the convenience to pay the mortgage online. Truly an unwarranted money grab. I'm blessed that I can put a little extra towards my mortgage payment every month. So the following month, I took out my mortgage payment plus $400 in quarter from my local bank. I then went to my local Bank of America branch and handed them my mortgage payment in quarters and repayment stub. I asked for a receipt of payment. I overpaid my mortgage to reduce the current balance and thereby reducing Bank of America's fees. The nice branch manager said, "You can write a check, you don't have to pay in coins." I said I could, but I would charge a $9.50 conveyancing fee for the stamp. My check and ink used. The branch manager actually laughed and said okay. They counted the money and I got my receipt. Next month the charge was still there. So I went to another local Bank of America branch which had gotten bad reviews on Yelp due to a hostile bank manager. I did the same thing. The branch manager said, "Write a check. We don't accept quarters." I said, "Shall I call the local state's banking commissioner, the Consumer Financial Protection Board, and the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, U.S. top bank regulator, and say you won't accept legal tender?" I asked to talk to the district manager. I was making a stink. After about 20 minutes, he grudgingly had the staff count the quarters and I got a receipt. I told the manager that I would be bringing dimes next time. The next month I brought dimes. He accepted them but glared at me the whole time. After that payment, Bank of America re-signed their conveyance fee. The month after that I refinanced my mortgage at a lower rate. Bank of America only got roughly 6 months of fees for servicing they expected to last 3 years at minimum. 5 years to be profitable. One of my proudest malicious compliance moments. Are you required to pay new fees? Where did the borrower agree to this? I know this would be dependent on which state you were in. But you agree with the terms when you take out the mortgage. But when they sell the mortgage to another servicer, do you have an opt-out? What if they charged $25 for each online payment? $50? I would argue that this fee is gouging and all other places can take online payments without charging a fee, and the actual costs incurred do not justify the charge. This could be a nice class action of any on Talk to a Lawyer. We moved to New Zealand from South Africa and bought a house. We got a mortgage for 2/3 of the price. As we had some cash for the rest, we paid it off in 4 years. The biggest lump was when our money finally arrived from South Africa. I went to the bank to collect the deeds to the house, and the lady brought them to me in a nicely addressed envelope. Someone had written our names in fancy script. Quite nice. But the lady then asked us to pay $50 fee for the deeds. I was annoyed and refused. I said this fee had never been mentioned when we took out the mortgage. There was no justification. Blah blah rant, but politely, but firmly. In the end she just handed over the deeds and off we went. I despise B of A. Years ago they had a setup where you could get a checking account with no fees as long as you did no more than 2 transactions inside per month, and everything else was done via ATM. I opened an account and everything was good. At some point I left my job and received a large 5-figure severance check from my employer. So I decided to open a savings account as well. I take the check to the bank and get everything set up. I get my bank statement and there's a $5 charge to open the account since that was transaction number 3. Inside the bank, I call CS and ask them to explain how I was supposed to open an account other than going inside. No problem. They agree to remove the fee. The next month I get my statement. That fee is gone. But they charged me a $5 phone assistance fee. I closed my accounts and will never use them again. Someone in the mortgage industry once told me that the big banks like WF, BOA, etc. hate their mortgage business, but they don't want to get rid of it, so they take their frustration out on the borrower. Not sure if that's actually true, but every mortgage horror story I've heard like this involved a big bank like BOA or WF. Before the pandemic, I paid my rent in cash by taking out the needed amount. During the pandemic, they removed the $1 fee of sending money through the internet. So I paid that way. I noticed 2 months ago they added back the $1 fee. So I'm paying cash again. I literally had it written into my last mortgage that it could not be sold to Bank of America. Specifically. Yes, they do suck that bad. I got a car loan from a local big bank. When I had 2 payments left, I let the loan officer know that I will have requesting the title. He said I had to give them 6 weeks notice. I said great, I'm giving you 8 weeks notice. 8 weeks later, I paid off my car loan in cash. I asked the bank teller to please get my title. She said they had to wait for my last payment to clear. I reminded her that I paid cash and held up the receipt she gave me literally seconds ago. She laughed and said most people don't pay cash. I asked again for my car title. She then said I'd have to give 6 weeks notice to the loan officer. Great, I said. I did that 8 weeks ago. After I got the bank manager involved, the loan officer admitted he forgot to request my title from another bank location. I asked to close my bank account, or do I need to give you 6 weeks notice on that? I did get my $420 and left. I drove to the other bank location to get my car title. I let that bank manager know that I jumped through all of their hoops. Showed him my paid in cash receipt, and demanded what was legally mine. The cops made their presence known. I did get my title. I've never dealt with another bank branded too big to fail. Thank you for detailing how the servicer gets paid. I always thought the originator, broker sold the debt to the servicer at some sort of profit. Does this mean the debt is held by the originator and then the servicer is literally just that, making a cut of the interest paid? I've made a career out of helping international companies set up operations in the US. Some of them turn out to be quite large. As the first contact between my clients and the US market, I almost always get to advise them on where to bank. I had a fight with BofA in 2001 over my personal checking account. Since then, my combined estimate of bank and merchant fees for the companies I've helped set up have exceeded $30 million. When I'm in a particularly foul mood, I like to send a letter to BofA reminding them that by not treating a small customer with dignity, they lost out on significant revenue elsewhere. I've been sending them about every 23 years since 2003 with updated estimated totals. Bless your horrible dark heart, where you leave behind the charred corpses of corrupted companies. Flowers once again bloom. Love the idea of paying in the most inconvenient way possible and offering them the choice of being charged a convenience fee for you to pay sensibly. Tears of joy. Now please work out how we can do this against Ticketmaster. Bank of America is such a joke with all of their fees. They effectively locked me out of my accounts because they charged some arbitrary fee just because, which overdrafted my account. Then they charged me the overdraft. And when I asked for them to produce the reason why the initial fee was applied, nobody could give a straight answer. Got a different answer from each person I spoke to. There is no reason to use BOA. Ever. I work in a bank. This is why we have coin counters. Takes literally 10 seconds to count coinage. So how did this cost them $8K? The next month I brought dimes. He accepted them but glared at me the whole time. After that payment, Bank of America re-signed their convenience fee. Not all heroes wear capes. You are one of them heroes, sir. This one is amazing. You really should be proud for beating a company like this at their own game. I sued BOA, and won, over my mortgage. Fuck you BOA. It cost me lawyer fees though. When Countrywide went down in flames, BOA got my mortgage. I said to myself, nope. Went to my bank, and was able to just squeak into a home improvement loan to pay off the mortgage. Not sure if they still lost fees you are talking about. Never heard of that. I sure hope so. Wait, so they charged $5 for both online and check payments? B of A is truly the evil empire. Glad you got rid of them. Wife and I have excellent credit. BOA held our mortgage. Interest rates tanked. Asked BOA to refinance at lower rate. We can't help you. Made it my life mission to get my mortgage away from BOA and I did. Fuck BOA.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.